everybody, welcome back. Today I thought I would just sit down with a cup of tea and chat to you about where my life is going at the moment, because I just finished university, as most of you know. Honestly, I don't really have much of a direction at the moment. I'm feeling very lost, but a lot of people keep asking me like, you have a maths degree, like what are you going to do with it? There's so many things you can do, what are your plans? And I'm just like, oh, hello Penny. I just don't know. It's been a few months now, but I still don't have a clue what I'm going to do with my degree. For those of you who don't know, I finished my degree in like June time, graduated in July, so I now have a maths degree, which is an achievement, and it's something that's going to open a lot of doors for me in terms of employment opportunities. But I really don't know what I want to do career-wise still. There are so many options for what to do with a maths degree. The obvious things are teaching, accounting, banking, finance stuff, insurance stuff, actuarial stuff. It's not that I'm not going to go down any of those routes necessarily, it's just that at the moment I don't really know which one of those will actually suit me, because I don't know what like the day-to-day job would involve, and I need to do the research for that. But I am not at all ready to get myself a proper 9-to-5 adult graduate job. I'm just not kind of in that headspace yet, and I am in a very lucky position that I don't have to go out and look for a specific type of job. I moved back home after I graduated, and I'm really lucky that I had somewhere to go and I didn't just have to go straight out of uni, get my own place and get a job. I have this very like privileged position of being able to have some time to think about what I want to do, but I am hyper conscious almost of not becoming a complete layabout and scrounging off my parents. So I am doing everything that I can to help around the house, both with the business and with just general household things. So that's where I am in terms of living situation. In terms of what I'm doing with my time, I didn't look for any graduate jobs during my third year. I started the kind of process of looking into what I wanted to do, but I just got too overwhelmed and it was just affecting my brain too much, so I decided that I was just going to focus on getting the degree and the rest would follow eventually. I was trying very hard not to put too much pressure on myself, and then that kind of extended, and now we're in November. I decided I was going to give myself the summer off just to have a summer, so going travelling, going to festivals, just enjoying myself, relaxing, making the most of the free time that I had. Then come September I was hoping I would be kind of mentally ready to think about job searching, but I just wasn't, and the thought of it fills me with dread, not only just because the whole process of looking for a job and going to interviews and all of that just fills me with anxiety, but I just know that I'm not ready and I don't want to waste my time looking for a job that I am going to loathe. I'm just not in the headspace to have a proper corporate job. I just want some time and some space to just chill out a bit. Essentially, I've been jumping through hoops and doing what was expected of me again and again since school. So I did all my GCSEs, tried really hard because that was what was expected of me and I was expected to get good grades. Got my grades, went to a really good college because that was what was expected of me, and did 4 very difficult A-levels because that was what was expected of me. And then the next step was just to go to university. So that's what I did because that was what was expected of me, and I didn't have a clear plan of anything else I wanted to do, so I thought, don't know what else I'm going to do, so decided to do a maths degree, and 3 years later here I am, still completely lost, not knowing what to do. I've come all this way, met everybody's expectations, and now I have a maths degree. The next step to be successful would be to get a job in the city, doing some kind of finance thing, getting the first train into London, one of the last trains back, wearing a suit, going to meetings, being miserable, and having my job just consume my whole life and all of my time. My uni work consumed my life, my schoolwork consumed my whole life, so my job will do exactly the same thing. I've come to the conclusion that if I don't stop jumping through all of these hoops now, then I probably never will, and I'm just going to lead this very mundane life which I didn't really choose for myself and just kind of got swept along into. Again, that's not to say that I'm never going to get myself a proper graduate job that uses my degree, because I'm sure at some point I will. It's just that I feel such a huge amount of pressure on me to go straight into work. And that pressure isn't even from anybody in particular. Nobody is telling me, like, get off your ass and get a job. It's just kind of like a societal pressure, and in some ways a pressure from myself, because I feel like if I don't go out straight away and find something and find a job, then potentially employers in the future are just going to be like disinterested in me because I wasn't as eager as other candidates. But I'm trying very hard to battle those thoughts and just kind of tell myself that I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I have a first class maths degree, I'm highly competent, I'm a very good employee, I'm dedicated, I'm motivated. So there is no reason that somebody wouldn't give me a job. It's just this expectation which essentially comes from nowhere and nobody. As a society, work is valued, and I understand that that's how society works. We do live in a capitalist society, and the way that works is that work is valued, and if you don't work, you're not contributing to anything, and you're basically worthless. When I want to, sure, I will get some high-paying office job, because, you know, I do like money, because money buys you things that you want. But in the meantime, I'm very happy to just ignore all those pressures that work is everything, and just be. It's kind of like a large mindfulness exercise. That's how I'm treating it. One of the things that I've learned about myself over the last couple of years is that if I don't do anything productive, I feel completely worthless. I feel so guilty if I didn't do any uni work in a day, or I'd had a day off and I hadn't used any of my time to do anything productive, like even just cleaning or editing a video or something like that. The guilt just completely consumes me. So me having this time off is really challenging that head on, because it's great to be productive. You get further along in life if you do things, that's obvious. But this opportunity to kind of break those thought processes down, I think is going to be really useful to me. I want to have a really strong focus on self-improvement over the next however many months that I am not in a proper job. For once in my life, I have time, and you know how anxious I get about not having time. I'm just trying to enjoy the moment, enjoy just living my life as it is right now, spending time with my mum, spending time with my cat. And my aim is that by the end of this period, however long that may be, I will be a better person and I'll be a lot happier within myself. Then I'm on a much stronger foundation to go into the world of work, and I'll hopefully be able to be happy within that job because I chose to be there. I'm there on my own terms and on a timeline that works for me and my life. I realise that I haven't actually explained what I've been up to. As I said, being around the house not doing anything makes me feel super bad. As soon as I realised this, I decided I have to like pick myself up and do more things. It doesn't have to be graduate maths job things, it can just be working in my waitressing job in a cafe. So that is my first job. I'm doing multiple different things. My first main source of income at the moment is my waitressing job, which I've had since I think I was 17, so when I was at college. I work in a cafe at a sort of like castle and gardens place. Everybody who I work with is super lovely. They're all kind of, you know, young people kind of figuring out what they want to do with their lives. It's a good environment to be in because I'm not alone. And for the moment at least, I am completely content just going there a few times a week, making people coffee, serving them food. It's fulfilling enough for me right now, and it may not be considered like a proper job by a lot of people, but it pays, it's keeping me doing something, and I'm more than happy doing it. Next up, I'm obviously still making YouTube videos. I do earn a little bit of money off YouTube. I think I've had 4 AdSense payments now. It's been about a year and I've had about 4 AdSense payments, so it is not very much money, especially for the amount of time that I put in, but you know, that's not why I make videos. I make them because I enjoy it. It is a small part of my income, and it's kind of just like having a little bit of pocket money because every couple of months I get a payment from Google. I was hoping that during this time off I would have some more time to focus on YouTube, but so far that has not been the case at all. I obviously don't have any intentions to stop doing it. It's just something that I do when I can, when I want to. Hopefully within the next month or 2 things will pick up, but I can't make any promises because life is pretty hectic right now. I made more videos while I was a full-time student than I have been making now, doing a couple of shifts a week as a waitress. So for those of you who don't know, my mum owns a pet sitting business. We have doggy daycare, so dogs come to our house and we look after them. And she also does cat feeding, so visiting people's houses and feeding cats while they are away. It's something that I've always helped out with because my mum is a very busy lady and sometimes she just needs someone to like look after the dogs for 10 minutes while she pops out or anything like that. But now that I am here full time, I've been getting a bit more involved in more of the business side of it, so I've been doing a lot of admin things. It's also been tax season, so I did the accounts for the business for whatever it was it 17-18? Yeah, 17-18 it would have been, and we filed the tax return. Alongside all the admin stuff, I've also taken on some of my mum's clients because, as I've said, she's a very busy lady. She has to turn people away because she just physically doesn't have enough time. So she's referred some of them to me, and I'm more than happy to be paid to look after cats. I now have a regular gig looking after a kitten and its mum, and they are the most adorable things, and it's been really lovely to spend significant chunks of time, especially with the kitten, because I've basically been watching her grow. I think she's now about 14 weeks and she's just started purring and it is the cutest thing in the world. We just have a lot of cuddles, a bit of a play, I feed them, change their litter. It's nothing fancy, but again, I find it very fulfilling, I enjoy it, and it pays. I'm not working in a very highly paid graduate job in London, but the world is still going on. I can afford to eat and I have somewhere to live and I get to cuddle cats at the same time. So honestly, the most like sort of, I guess, yeah, grounding and clarifying time is just sitting, playing with cats, letting the world just do its thing. I've lost count of where I've got to on my list of various jobs. I've been doing other kind of ad hoc pet sitting jobs. I've been doing like freelance copy typing, and then the final kind of branch of my income at the moment is Etsy and eBay. So I sell handmade jewelry on Etsy. Again, it's just something that I do kind of as a hobby, and then if someone wants to buy my stuff, that's great. And then on eBay, I've been selling loads of my old possessions. I'll put in a cutaway, but over there I've got a huge stack of boxes which are just full of clothes that I've like decluttered but want to sell because they're worth money. I realised that it's not really a sustainable source of income because eventually I will run out of things to sell, but it's been like 2 months and I've hardly made a dent. So for the foreseeable future at least, it's something. It's a little bit of money to add to my pot. It's just like a bit of pocket money, and at the same time I'm slowly getting rid of the junk corner of my room, which is just round high with stuff to sell. And then we come on to the future. What are my plans? Am I just going to keep going like this for a while? Probably. I eventually want to go travelling, but I'm very indecisive. I don't know where I want to go. I don't know how long I want to go for. I don't know whether I want to just have like a month and enjoy it, or whether I want to go for a year and work my way around somewhere. It's all very up in the air. This feels like it's been a very long video just to explain that I don't have a graduate job, I am not looking for one, and I don't know what I want to do with my degree. But there you go, so that is what I've been up to at the moment. It's nothing special, but I'm just trying to focus on not feeling guilty for it and just enjoying my time, having a bit more free time and a bit more freedom to do what I want to do. I know that I'm very lucky to have been able to come out of university and have very little pressure on me to find a particular job and find somewhere to live and get on with my life, so to speak, but I'm very grateful that I've got this time because I think it is going to really help me a lot. Going straight into the world of work right now would do terrible things to my brain. So I'm very grateful for that, and I'm slowly coming to terms with the fact that I'm not being lazy, I'm not completely worthless for not wanting to go straight into work. I would tell that to someone else. If someone had graduated and then wasn't actively looking for a graduate job, I would, you know, straight away be like, well, obviously you don't have to do that. Just as long as you can afford to live and you're happy, that's all that really matters. But it's really hard accepting that for myself, especially because I'm just so used to constantly doing stuff. Otherwise I kind of bring myself down for it. So I am slowly kind of getting to grips with the fact that I don't have to do anything specific. I can spend my time forever just waitressing if that's what I want to do. I have a degree. It's my choice now whether I want to use it or not, and I'm sure at some point I will use it. But I am just happy existing and living right now. While I'm just sitting here kind of talking about life and having a chat, I am getting really close now to 10,000 subscribers. I reached 9,000 about a week ago. I think 10,000 is probably going to come before Christmas. That'd be really exciting if it did. I don't know. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it'll happen at some point in the future, I'm sure. 10,000 is a huge milestone. 1,000 subscribers was like the ultimate goal when I first started YouTube, and 10,000 to me seems like a huge achievement. Well, it is a huge achievement. I don't know. I think it's just a nice goal to have reached. I mean, I didn't even set it for myself as a goal because I guess I never really expected to get to 10,000 subscribers. That's crazy, really. I'm just basically saying thank you in advance because, yeah, I'm very grateful. Anyway, I think that is enough rambling for me. The light is starting to change, but that just shows how short the days are in winter, because in the course of me filming this video, we've gone from like midday to sunset. That's ridiculous. Anyway, thank you for listening to all my rambles, and I will see you very soon.